I'm ready. Are we?
This is an intro to the Valleycast, and I'm going to list potential Valleycast Valentine's Day cards, starting with card 1. I love you like Joe loves ripping wires out of walls in the country of Burundi. Card 2. I love you like Lee loves Iceland and Vanagons. Whatever that is, I still don't know. Card 3. I love you like Steve loves Gremlins and E.T. and Muppets and Disney and Disney and Disney and Disney. Card 4. I love you like Elliot loves talking about capitalism and going to Vegas and having babies. Because the world is beautiful and it's never as beautiful as it is today. God damn it. And I sang this song even though I'm not a very good singer because I love you all. And even though I'm only a $2 patron, I love you as much as a $10 patron, but I'm poor. So as this comes to a close, I really hope it was the episode 9 of intros. Goodbye now, Valleycast for life.
Meow.
That was really beautiful.
I feel like I went to a musical.
I know. I loved it.
I'm inspired. I'm
I
a little
loved
sad.
every second of it. I loved every second of it. I'm like...
I think I'm moved. Yeah.
It was really good. The piano tracking, the backing track on the piano was
really
next
beautiful.
level. So
also,
really
it truly
beautiful.
was one of those like pitter patter. You know, who is it that does that in musicals where it's just like, and I never knew the pitter patter of musicals where it's just like, are we talking? You're talking. You're just talking.
That was from 28 Hartnell over on SoundCloud.com.
Hartnell.
I think
Great
that was
stuff.
the episode 9 of themes so far.
That was really amazing. I think it was so I went somewhere. I came back. I went somewhere and I came back and I was like, "Oh, I'm recording a podcast right now." I was lost in the music.
And that man was a true fan. Like he knew everything. He's been here since the beginning.
Yeah.
He
captured
pinpointed
it.
Thank you, by the way.
Round of applause.
Also, a Vanagon is a Volkswagen Vanagon bus. It's a type of car.
But I think you should spell it because it sounds like you're saying van again, like a 2.0
That's
of
what
van.
they.
It
I
is
think that's what they
confusing
were
every
trying
single
to say
time.
that. Really?
Yeah. It took me a while. Like I did the thing where I was like, I nodded every
Yeah.
time you said it. I was like, yeah.
Vanagon. It's like the name of it.
Yeah.
It's like how what's it called? Like the
Van also.
Touareg. That's just the name of it. Vanagon.
Vanagon.
But I think it's like, they're German and they're like, it's like a van again, like for making a van, but again.
It makes me feel like it's an actor, like an old school actor named Kurt Vanagan.
Kurt Vanagan.
Yeah,
Like
he
I
was
bet
great.
you he was really good. Probably
He
starred.
did all of his own stunts, but it was before stunts were actually cool. It was like when they were very dangerous.
Yeah, hurt a lot
Well,
of animals.
he
Yes.
starred in every single Michael
Hurt
Douglas
a lot
movie.
of animals.
I should always think about all the animals that were hurt in
so
movies.
So many. All those westerns, horses died.
I mean, at some point they had to start putting in the disclaimer.
Yes.
Animals weren't hurt here, guys, because we know that you're assuming animals were hurt here.
Yeah.
But
And
guess what? They were not.
They were not.
Yeah.
And it's truly also when you have an animal on set, like they are way better than they are with people.
It's like for
They
sure.
really are.
It's like when you see the sign outside the pool that's like, you can't be in here if you've had diarrhea for the past 2 weeks. It's like, how many times had people had diarrhea like in the pool or in the vicinity
That
of
they
2
had
weeks
to
that
get a
they've
sign.
determined?
Yeah.
And so it's
Also,
like
2
if they
weeks
say that
is
about
such
animals in the
a-
movies, they hurt a lot of animals, you guys.
I'm going to go on record saying this. There is always a period in which I've had diarrhea within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're supposed to go more than 2 weeks without diarrhea?
I've never not had diarrhea within 2
Lee's like,
weeks.
I haven't went swimming in 13 years.
I mean, truly, 2 weeks is such a, think about it. 2 weeks is such a long time to not have any diarrhea.
Tom
I
Segura-
like Mexican food, baby. It's gonna fucking happen.
it's going to mess you up, girl.
It's gonna.
Tom Segura's got a really good bit about like part of the benefits of being married is like you learn things about yourself, and like he learned that he's not supposed to always have diarrhea. And the first time he came out of the bathroom, his wife was like, "What was that?" And he was like, "What are you talking about? You don't do that every time."
Normal.
It's a very funny
I
bit.
want to do an experiment because I think we're all in the same poop boat, Lee,
Sure.
where it's every 2 weeks there is
There's
a moment,
chance.
and we're going swimming every single time. Ain't nothing going
Yeah.
to deter us from that pool,
No.
baby. But I do want to just kind of wade in a pool sometime and just keep my eye on that sign and see that one guy or girl that comes in like really excited to swim and then stops, partakes in the sign, and then gets really sad and walks away.
I feel like it's like just totally one of those like do.
Oh.
All right.
He like sees the sign. He like looks at his watch. He's like, 11 days, 12 days, 13 days.
1st, November 2nd.
Darn it.
Daryl, get
definitely-
in. I'm all right.
You know.
Looks like I'm not getting my laps in today.
But welcome to the Valleycast, everybody.
Welcome to the Valleycast.
This is the official podcast of the Valley Folk, which is comprised of myself, Steve Zaragoza, who is absent today, Joe Beretta here manning us on a technical level
Hello.
in Steve's absence.
Doing my
and,
best.
The lovely Lee Newton, everybody. And this is a podcast where we each come up to the table with different subjects, and we go one by one, we discuss them, we have fun, and then we go about our business, our day.
Real quick, Steve Zaragoza, is, like as Elliot said, is absent today, and I'm going to give you guys 3 seconds to guess where he is. That's right. He's at Disney.
Yeah. Filming though.
Yeah.
He's working.
Yeah, but
working.
he's still at Disney. Like
He's
he
still at
found a
Disney.
reason to get
He
to
found
Disney.
a Disney.
Yeah.
Disney.
There's a magnetism between those two things.
I'm so happy for Steve in that regard. So Steve is working on a Disney show, and he's been asked to come back multiple times.
It's really cool.
It's
Good boy.
It's just like it's if I was a 7-year-old kid that really loved the Mariners, the baseball team, because I did. It was like my life for a while, and I grew up and got to be on the Mariners. Like that's how I feel for Steve right now.
I
He
immediately,
loved
if
Disney
you wouldn't
so
have said
much.
baseball team, I would have 100% thought you were going to be a fisherman.
A
Like,
fisherman
hands
looking
down.
to look today.
He's just
yeah,
like,
for
I
sure.
want to be a fisherman. I want to be a mariner.
I just live on the ice. It's only ice fishing. I don't like
They
summer
make good
fishing.
money. They make very good money.
You're talking about those Alaska fishers.
Oh yeah, the dangerous ones.
Yeah.
Not like actual fishermen.
But yeah, so Steve is like living out a
living his
childhood
truth.
dream.
I know,
It's
I
really
love it.
cool. It's
Hold on,
really cool.
I just realized
Very
I
happy
have to
for
put
him.
my phone on airplane mode, and I didn't.
Put it on that mode, baby.
Okay, sorry, I just did. Just
when I
did.
do this podcast, I feel like I'm living out my childhood dream.
Is that true? When you were 8, they were like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I want to be like a podcaster.
I want to grow up and I want to sit at a table
I want to be in a very hot room
with 2 friends and an
It is hot.
absentee Mexican.
I want an absent Mexican. So you don't want a Mexican? No, I want a Mexican that's not there.
I do.
All right, everybody.
I
Who wants
love
to
it.
start? Who wants to dive in?
Oh, I could dive in.
You want to dive in?
I could dive in.
Dive it in, baby.
could
What do you got?
dive.
What do you want to bring to the table?
I do want people to know that we're filming this a little bit early because we have to go to VidCon this week. But I'm gonna go out here and say on a limb that okay, I was talking with Jarrett Sleeper. Jarrett Sleeper has a podcast, and I was on. He was wonderful and had me as a
Oh,
guest.
you've been on. Oops,
I've
sorry,
been
you've
on
been
it
on
too.
it.
Yeah,
Elliot's
been
on
on
it.
it too. It's very
I
wonderful.
have not been
I
on
was
it.
barely
Jarrett has
on it.
this. Do you want me to tell Jarrett that you should be on it?
No,
I'll tell
I'm
him that you
afraid
should
of
be on
him. He's too handsome.
He's so handsome, but he's so sweet. He's
Oh.
he's quite possibly one of the nicest humans I've ever, genuinely nicest humans I've ever met.
He's a wonderful person.
He's a wonderful person.
I love him very
But
much.
also, he has a really wonderful capability to make me talk for like 4 hours.
He
on
opens you
things.
up.
Like he does. He
like
fully,
a book, baby.
Fully,
He
like,
takes you off
and
the
also,
shelf.
like, I was like, why am I talking about this? I don't talk about this with anyone.
Oh boy, he
but
decimal
he
systems
Dewey
your
Decimal-
brain.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
decimal systems my brain for sure. But he had this really great thing at the end of his podcast. He talks about like the "Don't Kill Yourself" list. Like it's a list that he came up with.
What
like,
is
when he
that?
suffered from depression, and it was like a list of like, you know, wonderful things in life, like sunsets and coffee were on it.
Oh,
And I added dogs to it because
dogs,
great.
baby. Because
they're
dogs.
fantastic and wonderful. And he was like, that's such a good one. And I've been thinking about that literally for the last like month after I was on it and being like, man, they are so stupid special. For me, I had like a weird depression period right after I got married. No one ever fucking tells you that. No one ever tells you that like you're going to plan this whole huge wedding. It's going to be a huge thing.
Postpartum
It's literally,
nuptials.
it's called, what is it? It's like something, it's like, you know, post-wedding blues. Like they call
Yeah.
it, they're like,
You're
it's
in
a
search
thing.
of the
Like,
impossible.
Well, it's because
object.
you
Yeah,
you
it's 'cause
ascended
you-
and you reached that moment that since you were a child, society was being like,
society,
girls
everyone,
get
yeah.
married, and then you get that thing, you have the dress, you have the kiss, and then after that, it's like, oh my
Oh,
God,
okay.
what's left?
Same phenomenon that happens if you become very successful in any particular thing.
Is
Yeah.
that true? You
Or
get
if
post-wedding
become-
blues after that?
Yeah, you get blues after anything you think you want really badly that'll
pinnacle.
solve you. It's gonna solve the gaping hole inside of you. Then when it's done, you're like, oh, it didn't fix anything. It's still life is still difficult.
Wow.
Yeah, the only thing that
And
can
that's
really
the impossible
Yeah, well-
object. Everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you for
We'll
tuning
see you
in
later.
today.
Thank you for joining us.
Whoa.
For those of you who have fallen asleep, thank you for the time that you did spend with us.
look, the only thing that can fill that hole inside of you, that gaping wound as it is just more flesh. So come on down to Dan's Flesh Barn. We'll get you a ball of flesh. You can put that right inside yourself, and you're going to be whole. We'll complete you.
A ball of flesh.
Oh man, that definitely. I thought you were talking about a sex den, and then I found out you were talking about literal balls
no,
of
we don't
flesh
know
to
that
fill
yet.
the
We
gaping
do not
hole.
know. We don't actually
Look,
know
if
that.
there's
You're
a
right.
hole in a
sex
human,
den.
there's only one thing that can fill it, and that's more human. Come on down to Dan's Flesh Barn.
Hi, I'm Dan.
But yeah, no, dogs are great. Dogs are great.
So, yeah, so that was my whole thing. Like I had a weird little depression that was very not me, and it was like shook me. You were there for it. You got to experience a lot of that. But it did. It shook me to my core a little bit, and then Frankenstein came along, and we
Aw.
rescued her. And like every single day, she's such a joyous pup.
Will you tell the
She's
story
a-
real quick? Because I feel like there's a lot of people
I've
listening
told
that
it
don't
before.
know.
I'll tell it really briefly. Frank is great. We were camping up in Big Bear. There was a bunch of people that were very obviously like meth addicts and bad people, and they
Judgy.
They were wearing a
Judgment?
T-shirt that said
I heart
"Meth Addict."
I don't know.
Bad
You know what?
person.
I didn't actually see them do meth. I just put 2 and 12 together.
Ah.
And,
That was the amount of teeth
yes,
they had
no,
dispersed
two,
among.
and 12 limbs.
That's
but-
actually their nicknames for each other.
Yeah.
Hey, two.
Take 2.
Hey, let's go down Dan's Flesh Barn and see if we can
Yeah.
figure this out.
Dance, Flesh Barn. All you can eat.
They're
Wednesdays.
southern. They must be southern.
No, they weren't actually, Actually, no. So anyways, there was a bunch of people there. They were camping there. They weren't really camping there. I think they were living there. It was real bad situation. They had 6 dogs tied up to a tree they didn't feed the whole time. They didn't walk the entire time we were there the whole weekend, which is just not what you're supposed to do to animals. They did have this 6-week-old puppy that they kept taking around from camp to camp in order to hopefully beg for cigarettes to show off a cute puppy. And
Wait,
be
they were like,
"Can
this
I
is
have-"
my cute puppy.
Yeah, it was
Can
like,
I
look how
please
cute
have
this.
drugs?
Oh, I see that you have cigarettes. I forgot mine, and like they were bumming
Which,
cigarettes.
Hey, whatever version of Lee is a drug dealer, like who loves dogs but also sells drugs, is for sure gonna be like,
sure.
what do
Dude,
you want?
it's- I mean,
So
quite honestly,
it
like
would work.
it's the same thing as like when I would have my kids, like when they were
Yes,
cute little babies, and
exactly.
I would walk around the park and I'd go up to a bench and I'd see some ladies. I'm married, but sometimes you like to play the game.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "Hi, this is my daughter Hayden. Do you have any crack?"
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Yeah, I was like, where's it gonna go?
Where's it gonna
I was
go?
like, I felt like I was in a car buckling. I was like, this would
I
be
know.
nice.
But
See what
also,
he
what's
does.
the
These are my
woman-
children. Can I have crack?
What's the woman that's like, oh,
Here
just,
it
like,
is.
diving in?
Oh my god!
Anyway,
she's
so
adorable.
I've also
they were
got some
just
wet naps when you're done.
bad people. And the whole time I was like, that puppy is so little. It shouldn't be with like dogs. It shouldn't be camping. It shouldn't be anything. Like I was panicking about that. And it was really bad. And then, I made a weird little connection. They were like, oh, she loves her. Her name was Pandora at the time. Jesus Christ. But
Pandora.
It's because they kept her in a
Pandora.
box.
Yeah, gotta be. But so they did so I made a little connection. It was super sweet. Then we hear them finally feed the dogs, and they put it all in one bowl. The dogs rip the puppy apart because
they're like, "Get out of
They're
here."
like, get out of here. I'm
Yeah.
starving. I haven't eaten in 5, whatever. So I literally get up. I look at Delman. I go, I'm going to go get that puppy. And he goes, you're going to go get that dog. And like, he like knew.
That's a sweet little connection between
Oh, it's
you
a
two in that
total,
moment
like,
too.
just like, I was like, I'm gonna. He's like, yeah, I know.
Wow, it's adorable.
So I got up. The dog's screaming. It's like it's so much more involved than this. But the dog is like screaming, wailing because she's literally been like torn up by all these dogs. They're freaking out and like screaming at the dogs like it's the dog's fault. And they're going nuts. The crazy woman is gonna now sew Frankenstein up. But she's like, if I can get a needle and thread, I'll sew her up myself. And I was like,
Good God.
no. Also, this should be noted. It was dusk in a very crazy area, and coyotes started coming because they heard a screaming dog. So there was coyotes on this side, screaming, barking dogs on this side, and a wailing puppy. And I just was like, I think you need to give us the dog. We can take her to a vet. She obviously needs stitches and possible surgery, and we can take her and give her a very good home. And it was like they just kind of knew, and they were like, yeah, and it was really sad for them, but they gave us the dog, thank God, and we took that dog, and now she's ours. There is so much more to that story.
I'm sure, but
I want to hear about the wolf fight.
Okay, so the other side of that story is that me and my sweet baby girl Megan, she drove me down as I had Frankie bleeding all over my chest, and Delman had to stay and pack up the tent with these people, and one of them proceeded to have a seizure, and they had to gave him pot to get him out of the seizure, which I don't think is medically right. The other two, because the coyotes were coming,
give him pot. I don't know.
Pot.
Makes me feel better.
The other two guys saw the coyotes coming and went to go fight them, and that's
like with their fists.
Like went off to go fight them, came back, and they're like, well, I stabbed one of them, but he bit me. And so one of the guys got bit by a coyote. It doesn't even sound real.
God.
And Delman the entire time is just shoving full tents into his truck.
Quick tangent before you finish up is I laughed really hard recently because that video of the man who punches the kangaroo in the face resurfaced on my internet feed, and I watched it 10 times and laughed till I was crying. Yeah. Have you guys seen it?
Yes, I've seen it.
It's so funny.
I don't know if I remember it, but
dude, he runs to save his dog, which a kangaroo has got a
chokehold.
chokehold.
It's like jacked kangaroo.
The kangaroo lets the dog go, and then just starts like teeing up against this guy, and the guy doesn't get scared. He just goes into fighting stance and then just punches the kangaroo in the face, like, and the kangaroo's just like, and it's over.
Yeah,
it was the most human animal, like anthropomorphic thing I've ever seen. He
punches him, and the kangaroo's like,
he's so stunned.
Oh man,
this kangaroo is so
not
stunned.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
not cool.
I just to eat your dog.
Come on, man. You weren't using it.
The man just like he gets him so good that he sees that the kangaroo is so stunned that he's able to just turn and walk away. Yeah. It's so funny. Anyways, back to wolves and coyotes and dogs.
I mean, there's so much to this story. It's so insane. It truly is one of those stories that like you tell and people are like, no, and I'm like, no, all of this really happened. It was a cacophony of pure insanity. I wouldn't believe it if it was written in a movie. I'd be like, yeah, right. But the guy went to go fight off the coyotes, stabbed a coyote multiple times, and then got bit by a coyote. And in the meantime, I was like, Delman, what happened? Delman's like, I don't know. I was shoving tents in a car and just driving. He was just like full tents, full things in like a small truck window.
Coyote Man's podcast is also being recorded today.
100%.
And he's like, and I was sitting there, I was fighting this coyote. I got him like 17 times. He got me once. And there was this asshole guy over there just packing up his tent, not helping me. What the hell? They stole our dog.
But like the whole time, I was just like, this is insane. Delman said like at one point, he like had a bunch of shit in the back of his truck that wasn't tied down. So like as he's driving down the road, he pulled over to like fix it, and he just heard like a coyote howl, and he's like, and back in the car. It was just like, all right.
We're gonna lose this farm.
Okay, nope,
so you take Pandora to the vet.
Yeah, to the vet.
Get her all fixed up.
She has staples and stitches all in her face, which is why we named her Frankenstein.
That's such a good name for her. I love that name.
It's just perfect also for her, because she did for the most of the early beginning time, she had like a bunch of this. She had like punctured little ribs and everything too that they were like, they'll heal. She was a puppy. But for the most part, she was torn up and she had a bunch of staples and whatever in her face. We weren't anticipating getting a puppy at all. We were like, we're going to, see if any of our friends want her, but we just know that this dog can't be with them, blah, blah, blah. Trauma bonding.
And then wasn't it Delman that was like,
Delman literally, because one of our friends did like want her. He was like, oh my God, she's so sweet and I would really love her. And Delman's like, oh, but we'll see. And I was like, oh, we're screwed. Like we're full on screwed. But she's great. She's love and light. And every morning she like comes up and she like lays right by your little face and she like snuggles you.
She's the sweetest little puppy.
She's the sweetest little puppy.
Can you talk about the power of nurture in regards to her? Like, because I'm sure when you had her, was she a little scared and standoffish, or was she straight love from the start? Because she was actually
super scared. Just after that, I think she was like full traumatic. But the positive I will say is that like from when we got there and we thought that we were told by them that she was like 10 weeks old, and we got there and the vets were like, no, she's like just 5 weeks old, which is like they're not supposed to be away from their mothers. They're not supposed to. So the one positive I can say is that they would like immersed her in this like very like social lifestyle. So she was kind of just like sweet. She was scared for 1 second, but every single step of the way, we like, if someone wanted to hold her, we threw her in their arms. If she was scared of something, we like push her at it, just because we were like, you can't be scared.
Yeah, you made her
kid.
go skydiving.
We did, fully. And that's okay because it was cute. It was a cute video.
That little GoPro right on her face.
Just like panic.
And it was tandem.
It was tandem. She was strapped in.
She had to
Nothing
sit through the
bad
class.
was going to happen.
She was strapped into a German Shepherd. It was fine.
I feel like people just 2 dogs tandem. Like, I think maybe no. No, but she has always been the sweetest, and I really think it was like one of those things of it got me out of the place in my head of just like, oh, there's so much more going on. There's so much more to focus on. Here's this sweet little thing that you have to care for and nurture, and you can't be feeling like shit if you do that, and
Yeah.
also with her, she's so sweet and truly stupid that she makes me laugh so hard that I'm like, oh, this is it. Like, really was one of those things that I think came along in the most beautiful time in my life to be like, oh, this is why this happened. At the time I was like, this is crazy and how, but now I'm like, oh, it's because she truly brings like,
She helped lift you out of the
yeah,
funk.
man, she truly brings so much joy to my life. I can't even handle it.
Frankie the Funk Killer.
She's a funk killer.
Hell
And also Weasel's great too. You know that, but Weasel's great.
I love Weasel.
He's the best.
yeah.
But yeah, that's dogs for me. I feel like dogs are one of those sweet little treasures, and that's my whole life. That's been that way. I feel like I've had dogs that have just pulled me out of like those things, just because they're so pure and
That
like
companionship.
Sweet, that companionship.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm one that thinks that they're angels.
They are. I love them so much, man. They're great.
That
They're
was my
my
subject
favorite.
is dogs, because this morning she literally was like sprawled out on the bed, and I was like, "Fuck, you're awesome."
Courting
They're
you
just so fun.
with
Just
her
like-
body.
And they're
just
hilarious.
really
Like, they don't get enough
sucking me
credit
in.
for how dumb they are. Like,
No.
they're so dumb.
So
they're such dumb
dumb.
animals, and they're so sweet and so naive
Dum-dums. It's
and
so
pure.
and
Pure
just-
is the right word.
Pure is the right word, because it's just unconditional love. It's like one of those where you're just like, fuck.
Can I parlay this into what is your favorite type of dog? Which is
Oh,
a
yeah.
controversial topic for
It
many.
is actually a really controversial
Especially if you
topic.
like some of those designer dogs. Yeah. Because you're a corgi lover, but
Corgi,
corgis
but
are
Yeah,
also,
you love-
they're bred to die.
But I love all the poos as well. I love all the
Oh
designer
yeah, you love like
breeds.
Malti-poos.
Multi-poos, cockapoos, golden poos,
Oh yeah, you
golden
do.
doodles, whatever.
Oh, you do love a golden doodle.
I do.
that a re-
Labradoodles.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're
He
great.
does. They are great. I
They
am
don't
always
shed.
pro mix
Sometimes.
Is that
because
pro
like,
mix? Yeah.
I'm pro mix just because I
That's
feel
why I
like
said Labradoodle, golden
Yeah.
doodle, multi-poo.
Wait, has there ever been a bull doodle?
I
There's
don't
been
think
a lot.
bulldog.
A
I mean,
bull doodle. I
a
want
bull
to see
doodle.
that. I'm gonna look that up someday.
Yeah, you better. You
Bull
should.
doodle.
Look that up right now.
Um,
Bull doodle.
I'm
bull
pro
poop.
mutt. I'm always gonna be pro mutt. They're just so sweet and stupid, and then they don't. I mean, they're still gonna have health problems because they're dogs.
Can't have
But-
stop purebreds.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know what that means.
Wow. Oh my God. That was so real.
You know?
Can't have mutts without purebred.
But do you know what the point of it is? Because I'm still trying to rack my brain with if there's a point to what I
because
just
there
said.
has to be like, I mean,
I really don't think there is. I
no,
don't
there
think that
is,
means
because
anything.
you mean that like it starts pure. Like Weasel is miniature pinscher Chihuahua.
Right, right.
And I only did the DNA test on my dog, which is real. It's real life that I did.
It's called an English
But,
Boodle.
Oh, an English Poodle?
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's called
Oh,
an English Boodle.
Oh man, that's good.
Yeah, but not what I
man.
expected it to look like.
Yeah, not at all what I would expect.
Not
No.
enough. Not enough
Not enough boo.
bull.
Yeah.
You wanted the like Fonzie Kermit dad
Yes.
version.
Yeah.
Of the
Yeah.
I wanted a
combination.
monster.
Yeah. A cloud-like monster.
Just a pure demon.
I think growing up, I was always a lab guy. I
Yeah, we have
really
a
loved
lab
labs
back
and
home. Chuck.
I don't. It hasn't changed, I don't think, but I haven't had a dog forever. I need to get a dog someday.
Yeah, you do.
I follow a golden retriever on
Ooh.
Instagram named Bandana Jax. And Bandana is or Jax.
Bandana Jax.
And Bandana
Bandana
Jax also
Jax.
follows me,
Oh,
and
wow,
we
that
like each
shook
other's
me
content, and we comment on
Tuna
stuff.
melts my heart, and I follow each
Of
other.
cou- oh,
and that's a
really?
real-
Yeah, Tuna.
it's
And
a
Tuna
real-
should follow you because
Well, because I literally got Weasel because he looked like him.
Right.
That's the truth. How dark is that?
Weasel looks
Ooh.
like. Tuna looks like the reflection of Weasel if the
Yes.
mirror had been,
It had been
smashed.
warped a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Fully. He's the
Um,
handsome version of him.
Yeah, I love a good mutt too. Just a good, like, lovable, kind of scrangly mutt. That.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I just.
Mhm.
I
feel
love
like,
a scrangle.
That's a good
Yeah,
dog.
scraggly.
friend. Yeah.
Scraggle is such a good name for a dog.
Scraggle.
Yeah.
Scraggle.
Scraggle Rock.
Oh, that's good.
And one of the sweetest dogs that I ever got to associate with, and it really surprised me, was a miniature pinscher. and it was like Frankie, like just full of love, and it was like a bird. He would crawl up on your shoulder and just kick it.
That's cool.
It was
They're
really
good.
So a miniature pinscher.
Some
was
of those
also very
wiry
nice.
dogs are cool. Like
Yeah.
I honestly
I like a Jack Terrier.
There's really not a bad
There's not a bad.
breed. I mean, there's ones I don't like Dalmatians.
I was about to bring up Dalmatians.
Yeah, and
Are they
and
mean? Aren't they mean a little bit?
They're just
Yeah,
super.
We had
dumb.
one named Spot. I mean, classic name. We didn't have one, but the neighbor did, and Spot was just a doofus. Spot got his head stuck in a fence every day. Every day, the owner had to go out there and be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
God."
Spot.
That's the
and
best.
Guys,
but
Spots in a
truly
spot.
adorable.
And for all the you Dalmatian experts and lovers out there, we know that they're not all
They're not
horrible.
all bad.
But every interaction that I've had with a Dalmatian has been a negative one.
Statistically, in my years of working at animal hospitals,
Oh, yeah.
there's no other dog that I have less of a desire to come run up to and hug or pet or touch
Really?
or be near. They're terrifying.
Yeah, they're scary. They're
I have seen
aggressive.
some shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're,
man.
they're
Really, from
bad.
Dalmatians?
Yeah, they are.
Now,
So,
We don't
are you
wanna
on
put-
Cruella's
Of
side on
course,
this?
please do not take this to mean that we are.
This is not an
saying-
anti-Dalmatian agenda.
Yeah,
here.
we're not trying to push
Wow.
any sort of,
Yeah.
of our beliefs down
No.
your throat. We're just
No.
saying, anecdotally speaking,
Yes, these are our
in my
experiences.
life, yeah,
Who's
Dalmatians
that
haven't. Great.
stand-up that says 101 Dalmatians? Imagine the smell.
Oh, that's really funny.
Like,
Yeah.
it's so good. I'm
Yeah,
just
no
like,
doubt.
Like when they're like, "Oh, we'll keep them all at the end of 101 Dalmatians." You're like, "Bad idea! Like you're in a apartment. Bad idea."
The negative connotation concerning dogs is a real thing, though, because pit bulls have it real bad down
So
here in Southern
bad.
California. I have never met, for me, a
No.
mean pit bull. They are so sweet
I've
and
met
nice and just
I've
want
met
love.
truly asshole owners. I truly have met asshole owners that like to toughen them up and like to do all this
They're
horrible shit to them.
So lovable.
They're
Yeah,
so sweet.
They're not.
Oh,
Not a
no.
fan of pit
Oh,
bulls?
no.
I love pit bulls very much, but I also understand.
Yeah, I'm
the
sure it's
fear.
there. Yeah.
they do scare me.
They're
they
muscle.
really?
Well, they're just they're
Yeah,
just
but that's going
tanks.
back to like again, I was bit several times and dealt with very aggressive dogs for a very long time. So
Oh, yeah.
there's a fear that's based in like
in actual
and those
stuff
dogs are
that's
just
happening.
pure muscle. Like they're machines that have been constructed
Yeah.
out of like badassness. But for the most part, I love them. I think they're beautiful.
They're
we
like
know
the,
so many that are super sweet too. And
Yeah.
we went our friend to go help him pick out a dog, and he was like, "I want an older blah blah blah." And then I literally saw this dog Maud, and I was like, "Dude, this is your dog. Like this is hands down your fucking dog. Like has to be it." And we ended up getting Adam his dog, and
Oh
she's,
yeah. I know
Maud
what
is,
you're talking
and
about, yeah.
she's just like, she's the dopest. She's queen. She's just like perfect, but she also was trained by like Cesar Millan.
Okay, well,
so
that'll do it.
Then everyone's
That'll
like, she's
do
such
it.
a good dog, and it's like, yeah, because she had training by like Cesar Millan from day one.
Have you guys
Like,
ever seen or heard of the movie Robot Jocks?
No.
So Robot
Is
Jocks,
it good?
probably not. Well, yeah,
Okay.
it's like 90s good. It's like an old
Oh.
90s action movie where soldiers would use massive fighting robots.
Yeah, I feel like something in my
I
brain.
feel like a-
is
I feel like
sparking.
Fever dreaming.
I feel like a pit bull is a robot Jocks
jock.
version
Yeah.
of a French bulldog.
Yeah.
Like a French bulldog gets inside of a
Yeah.
pit bull
Mhm.
and just controls it. Yeah, I don't know. What a dumb anecdote. Analogy.
He's like, I'm gonna do
You definitely had to go so far out to come so
So
close
yeah.
to where
So
we.
close. I love it,
to where we
though.
needed to be.
So if you're interested in dogs or any of these, do your research and also go spend some time with them because this is all our personal stories.
Yep.
And
I just think
yeah.
they're great. I think if you want one, you should get one. That's a fact.
Don't tweet us. That's all it is. Just don't tweet us. But guys,
Just
can
get
we
a dog.
can we talk about?
Show me your dogs.
Yeah.
Show me your dog.
Hit us
Oh,
up
that's
with
the
your dog
best.
picture.
I
Send us your
always wanna see
personal.
Show me a dog picture. I
At-
love a good dog picture.
At the Valley Folk on Twitter.
Also,
Hit us
I
up.
love good dog names like Bandana Jacks and like
Yeah.
Weasel
Yeah,
and
hit us up with
Frankenstein.
your
Like,
pictures, your
oh.
names.
Botox?
Botox is so good.
Yeah.
Botox is the best.
We're gonna
Oh,
gonna
man.
retweet some of our favorites.
Yep. All right,
Yeah.
guys, listen. Can I say a pretty exciting announcement real
Yeah, you
fast?
can.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a sponsor. Guys, I am
God, we
exceptionally
have
excited
our
about this
neighbors.
particular sponsor coming at you. This is my I claimed this one immediately when it
did.
came through because it has to do, ladies and gentlemen, with clothes, and I like clothes.
Oh,
I
he
like
does. He
style.
loves
I like looking at
clothes.
new styles, experimenting with new styles. Some people have styles, some people don't. But just because
I don't have
a
style.
sense of style seems elusive for some, that doesn't mean that it's impossible to attain. Do you guys understand?
Yes, I do.
There's no time like the present to discover that style you never knew you had, and you can with a little help from our friends at Stitch Fix, okay? So here's the deal. Stitch Fix is super convenient. It understands that your life is going to get busy, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to tell them your sizes. Here's the thing, fellas, if you're listening. I'm just going to throw this out there as a little piece of advice. You should know your styles. I know it's annoying to know it, and you can forget, but it helps so much, especially for wonderful services like these. Tell them your sizes. Tell them your favorite types of style. Tell them what kind of clothes you like. When you go through, I did the test. Did you do the test?
I did the test.
It kind of will ask you
What's
how
your
you
test?
like it. It asks you kind of like what fit you tend to wear, how you want those specific sizes.
Yeah.
And if there's a siren going by, it tells you what you should be wearing during that. And because there's a specific
red,
outfit.
always red.
We have a siren today.
We're trying to get a siren sponsorship, okay? We're trying.
Anyway, so you throw in all of these preferences, what you like, what tends to happen when you put on clothes, and then they pick out clothing for you based on your preferences. And then you try it before you buy it. If an item doesn't fit or you just don't like it, no worries. You just send it back free of charge, okay? So it's reinvented how we find and buy clothes. If you want to save time, it's perfect. Your personal stylist will spring into action the moment you give them all the info, and they'll hand select 5 brand new clothing items just for you. I know personal stylist sounds like something that maybe you can't afford. Maybe that's for the rich and famous. Well, you can with Stitch Fix, ladies and gentlemen. Stitch Fix. So here's the deal. I want you to hurry on over to stitchfix.com / ready for this? This is where you come in. This is where you help us. You help us help you /Valley. Stitchfix.com / Valley. And get started now. You can keep all 5 items in your box, and you'll get 25% off your entire purchase. Boom! That's stitchfix.com / Valley. Are you hearing what I'm saying?
No,
it said
I am.
keep all 5 items in your box, and you'll get 25% off your entire purchase. That's a pretty good deal.
It's almost a fourth.
Yep, stitchfix.com / Valley. That's us.
It's a fourth.
Thank you guys.
It actually, and it's
beautiful.
great for like what Elliot was. Oh shoot! Oh my
don't
gosh!
hate you.
It's great
I
for.
don't ever hate
It's
you.
great for
great for
harming your
Elliot.
female co-hosts.
Because he does know his style, but then somebody like me, it allows me to take some chances because I hate shopping and
You
don't have
you
style.
do violently hate
and
shopping.
if somebody else is like, you might
and
look
even
good
when
in
I've
this.
been like, do you
good.
like this shirt? You'll be like, I don't know.
I don't know. how much is it? Okay, I love it.
All right, sure. I love it so much. $10.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Oh, it's wonderful. I
Thank
can't
you,
wait
Stitch
to see
Fix.
how you look. I can't wait
I'm
to see
so
what
excited.
You're gonna have to like blast and let me know. You're gonna have to be like Stitch Fix, Stitch Fix, Stitch
Oh, yeah.
Fix,
Stitch
Stitch Fix, Stitch Fix.
But anyway, thank you, Stitch Fix, very
love
much.
it.
I want to talk to you guys about a meme that I think is really funny.
Oh, I'm ready.
And it's a
Okay.
trend that happens online right now, and I don't know if you've seen it or not. So,
On the internet?
yeah, it's a kind of a thing
Is
where
it on
basically
the internet?
you can kind of call people on their shit a little
Oh,
bit.
I
Wait a
do
minute.
love
On
those.
the internet?
On the
Yeah.
internet?
You're gonna call somebody on their shit on the internet?
on the internet?
So
Guys,
here's
I'm
Of
gonna take
all
off this
places,
bandana
Elliot
All right.
Morgan.
because it's so hot.
So I need to read you. I need to kind of read you. I'm going to read out the meme for our listeners, and then we can show it on screen, and I can send the asset to Steve or Joe, whichever one of you ends up editing it. So anyway, this is a tweet from Rebecca Hazelton,
Oh, Becca.
and this is a
Rebecca.
quote. So she says, "Everyone dies one day. Everyone, even wolves, but not books, not words. Words don't die. Listen." And then she says, "My son, 3."
Oh,
Who is a lot smarter than I am." And then Jack McGarry comes in and replies and says, "Oh, fuck off, Rebecca. He did not say that." And then this woman was verified. So this is from Fuck Jerry, the famous meme account.
it's a great meme account.
It updates with an edit to her Wikipedia page because she's verified, and it
so
says
good.
now her Wikipedia page says Rebecca Hazelton is an American poet, editor, and critic. She also lies about what her 3-year-old son said throughout online media.
That's so.
It's
And so,
so
like,
good.
basically, there's like
no.
all this stuff online about people making fun of these people who get online, and they're like, I was hanging out with my 6-year-old daughter, and she said
She
that
said this, yeah.
war is bad. If all the wars ended, everyone would be happy. Why can't people understand that? That's my daughter. She's 6. And it's like, everyone's
Yeah.
like, no, that person, your dumb kid didn't say
no,
that.
there's no way. You're taking it so far out of context.
Or
They're just
making
like-
it up.
Or making it up. There is
For
that
sure
one,
making it
There
up.
was
yeah.
a video that went around a while ago, and it was this like sweet, adorable little girl that was like, the parents are getting divorced, and she was like, everyone should just go higher. And everyone's like, God, isn't this so deep? And I'm like, no, the kid has no idea what she's talking
Yeah,
about. out. She's like, go higher, be better. And it's
man.
like, great, yeah.
The comments on it too, like the
I love
ways
it
that
so
people
much.
make fun of it, like she became okay. So this is the other part that's kind of interesting. I went to her Twitter page because I was like, I gotta see who this person is that's lying about their child, and her tweets are protected, which makes me think that she got enough online like harassment about this meme.
And that's the sad part about it, because as soon as you told me and like I saw you're talking about the page, it's funny. It is inherently funny, but I was also like, oh, but on her side, she probably went into an emotional tailspin. Somebody changed her Wikipedia page.
I know,
which is
I
actually
know.
really hard to just change back. But
Yeah, it happens all the time.
you just change it back. So
And
easy.
she also
I've directed many movies.
You have children. Do they ever say something super deep, or are they most like?
yeah, I've tweeted about it. No, not well. Maybe. Maybe the deepest thing that I remember one of them saying that I tweeted about was along the lines of like, I said something like, yeah, our family doesn't have guns in the house. It's not something we really believe in. And then Hayden said, but Daddy, what about the zombies? And I was like, all right, okay.
See, that's good.
Yeah.
That's not like aggressively deep.
I don't
and
think
my
I. Yeah,
6-year-old
no, I haven't got on a white horse in regards to the things that have fallen out of my kids' mouths.
It's my favorite thing. Though.
The white horses you get on are like, I came into the room and like the thing I tweeted where I came into the room and Jackson was like, hey Elliot, I had a fart for you, but it went away,
That's
and whatever
what
it
it
was.
That was such a good tweet.
Or like when Jackson was naming all those animals, and one was like Dripper Moose.
Yeah.
And we're like Moose, and we're like, this is killer names.
It's what kids do provide is like it's really fun to watch imagination and logic work when that filters just haven't set in yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where I think a lot of those tweets come from. But I'm telling you, people do it because if you say my child or conversation with kid, that's going to take that like 30 retweet tweet up to like 450.
Yeah.
Like it's
People
very
love it.
calculated when people do it. Probably even myself. Definitely even myself.
I very rarely quote tweet people. I mean, just because, it's mainly just Delman being like, meh. But my father-in-law said something one time that was just like, we were watching something and Michelle Obama was on TV and he goes, God, when she speaks, I feel good. I just feel good. And it was like such a genuine moment for him. That I was just like, I have to tweet it because he was just so real and raw in the moment, just being like, I just feel better.
I thought it was going to be
feel better.
even more like just human basic. Man, when she speaks, I listen.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, something.
Yeah.
That would be the version that you would tweet
Yes.
if you were trying to get
It'd
that
be like
kind of
my
attention.
6-year-old kid, yeah. But no,
yeah.
it was just like him just genuinely being like, just feel better about stuff. Like just
She is a very good orator.
yeah, she is a very good orator.
Orator. Tater.
God, that's your nickname. Maybe it's Tater.
You're Tater?
You got
Only
a
when he
tater?
wears that hat.
No, only when he wears that
Yeah.
hat. Yeah.
That's fine. I'll take
Yeah,
Tater.
we're gonna
I've been
give you
trying
a
to
tater
nickname
hat.
Steve
Yeah.
Berger for a very long time, and he just won't
You
latch
won't
on.
rock it.
Guys, for those of you wondering, when they said the hat, sometimes during our streams, which happen at twitch.tv/the
true.
Valley Folk most Wednesdays, even though
Name
not tomorrow because
dropper.
Very
we have to go to
name-dropping.
VidCon. But this takes place 2 weeks after that, so that's irrelevant anyway. But we do weekly streams, and I wear hats sometimes, and it becomes a fun little roast where everybody's mean to me, and I think it's
Because
very
it's
fun.
so
just is
funny.
so
It's so fun.
Out
We
of
went on
character.
such a good run
Yeah.
that last week.
it's so
Yeah.
out of character for him to wear a
He's just
hat.
bringing a little bit of Florida to the game.
Yeah, I get
That's
it.
it.
It's so fun though. It's also just the stuff people come up with is really great.
It's really great.
amazing.
And y'all too. It's just it's fun. It's
Yeah.
like a very good creative prompt.
It
It is
is.
where it's just like make fun of it. Okay,
It's like the,
like everyone. It's like more like a writing exercise.
It's
than
like the
anything.
ongoing game of like world's worst in improv or
Yes,
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Where
Yeah.
just you're on your feet and you're having fun with it. And we're all just making each other laugh. Back to the tweet discussion that you
Yes.
brought up though.
Yes.
I think there is a relatable aspect of bringing up children and kids and
Yeah.
parenting and all that stuff. It's like if there's anything that brings us all together in a relatable experience, is we were all kids or we were all
Yeah,
parents. So it's
that's
very
true.
easy to connect to those tweets.
Right. I just think that people know that and they use it.
And
to-
so, sometimes it
totally.
is
Yeah.
certainly calculated.
it's I
also
think
be-
it's just bullshit.
I think it's like
you know?
very
Yeah.
obvious when it's so like profound that you're like, no, I don't. No, your 3-year-old didn't say.
That's what it is. It's
You
when you
know?
go, no, your kid didn't say that. Like, I just don't
Yes.
believe you because you're trying to make this profound point, but you're not going to say it yourself. So you're going to mask it in your child's, what they're saying. And that's like, that's like maniacally weird.
Guys, I
Yeah.
was hanging out with my son today at breakfast, and he pushed his eggs to the side and then quoted Aristotle and said,
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that kind of is
That's
the stuff.
exactly
And
it.
there's apparently a
Where
whole
it's just like
subreddit
behind
devoted.
every man.
There's a whole
There's a
subreddit.
beautiful nature within oneself. And you're just like, what? No. No, he asked for more Fruit Loops. Like, that's what he did.
Can I have candy for breakfast?
He said, one more? One more? Like,
Oh,
that's the
man.
thing that I love the most is like,
This is one from the Reddit.
oh, I love it.
Fidel Dangelo said, my 3-year-old took a long draw off of his cigarette as he stared out toward the distant lights of the city. The bright orange ember lit the pensive details of
Oh,
his face as he
beautiful.
held his breath for a moment. I found myself wanting to speak, but as I found the words, he turned slightly to me as if he already understood. Everyone dies one day, he exhaled. Rolling smoke across the rainy window as a lightning bolt lit up the sky. His reflection stared at me for several seconds. Everyone. This diaper change was not going to be easy.
That's really good.
That's fantastic.
That's like
That is beautiful.
That's super close to what Jackson said yesterday when I helped him off the potty after he went poo-poos.
Yeah, sure.
I saw that he was wearing some shorts, and I said, "Oh, did you just get those?" And he said, "No, Daddy, I've had my pee-pee forever."
That you tweet that.
He gets one.
But pee-pee is kind of 2 words in his mind.
Yeah, I've had my pee-pee forever.
Pee-pee.
Yeah.
It's pee twice.
Yeah,
Pee-pee.
pee-pee.
No, Daddy, I've had my pee-pee forever.
Did you just get that? Oh no, I've had this one. This one I've had forever.
No,
Oh no, no, I've had it forever.
I got it.
I got
Oh
it.
no, I got it. Oh God, when did we get this? Was it? Oh yeah, birth. Yeah.
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 I've been rocking this pee-pee forever, Dad.
It's profound. And what is that? It's just like, that's what can you say
That's
about the
exactly
world?
it. Yeah.
That like your son can say that. Like, what does
Yeah.
that say about the world?
Like, what he was trying to tell me in that moment was like, look,
yeah.
you're never going to be able to run from parts of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You are always
except
going to
you.
be part of the full part of you. And if you're feeling empty, head on over to Dan's
Yeah.
Flesh
Yeah.
Box.
Yeah, there it is.
I do like that it's all you can eat Wednesdays. I think that's fair.
Yeah. Lots
Yeah.
of flesh. All you
Lots of flesh. All you can eat Wednesdays.
Fill that hole.
It's just necessary.
Eat this flesh.
It's just very necessary.
eat my flesh.
Eat my
Fill your
flesh.
hole.
Do you guys
Ah,
imagine like
I'm damned.
the blob from Bicentennial Man? Like when they before
Oh,
they
I
form
do.
the
I
robot
do
out of
truly
him?
think of that. I also think
Oliver
about this
Platt.
thing that a woman put again on a meme, and it was like she had leftover ground beef and bacon, so she made a weird like baby shaped meatloaf, and she put like bacon on it as a diaper, and she's like, I thought this would be funny. My kids are screaming and they won't eat it. And it was like, because it was like baked and it was just this like brown, like charred little baby and a little thing. It was really cute. It's really
Oh,
funny.
Adorable.
Look it up. You guys, look it up. It's on the internet.
I don't want to.
Look it up on the internet.
I won't.
What do you got,
What is it?
Joe?
What's your thing?
Okay, I'm gonna bring a little topic to the table.
Oh, no.
Lee,
There it
you
is.
look radiant today with your
Thank you
new
so much.
pink
I'm
hair.
pink-haired.
You pinked before, and it was more of a salmon, and
Yeah.
it went away quickly.
Someone went away very quickly.
And now you're rocking pink. It's
Thank
it's
you,
a
buddy.
bold move,
Yeah.
especially for a 43-year-old. Not many do
But
that.
you know what? I'm trying. I love the idea of me just
the
hot.
meanest thing. You can
Also, just truly
get
being
to the
like you're
core.
43.
No,
God, you know, if I was, I think I would
Especially for
actually
a
feel
43.
a little bit better about myself.
it looks great. I commend it, and I love it.
Thanks. buddy.
So I wanted to bring up the topic of haircuts and hairstyles, and some of
You're
the
a man
ones.
after my own
Yeah,
heart.
I know.
Some of the
Just
ones that
trying
you
to-
guys have rocked from,
no.
adolescence
Oh, it is
on, some of
good.
your
This
biggest
is good.
mistakes, some
God,
of your
I love it. It's so
some-
smart.
Let's go down the path of haircuts past.
I'm hoping I have a picture of some of the path of haircuts.
Specifically
past.
your worst ones. I think that's the most entertaining.
My worst one. Oh, go for it. Go,
I'm going to
Elliot.
say this one thing, and then we're going to kick it to you, Lee. I do think my haircut between the years of 2013 and 2015 contributed to the creation of the alt-right movement.
Wow. Wow. I don't even know
I
how we
think-
can move on from that.
I think it was my fault.
You think it was your fault?
I think I started it.
Do you think that if we had
I
a
think it
time
was the
machine,
haircut.
we wouldn't stop anything else but that barber?
I bet if you did,
yeah.
it
Yeah.
would have been fine.
Was it
We
so?
would have been- we
I'm
wouldn't-
trying to
we wouldn't
remember
be in
what
this
it was.
situation.
Was
Yeah,
it
I'm trying to
so,
remember
like,
too.
Baby,
It's
it
like-
was so baby
it
boy.
was-
It was baby boy.
it was-
It was poofy all around.
No,
right?
that was
No.
2012 to 2013.
Oh,
I'm
I
talking
do know what
shaved
you're talking
sides.
about. Yeah.
like massively shaved sides, and then stark line, like crazy Hitler's.
Like, yeah,
haircut.
you did super. It was super.
I didn't know they
super.
were coming back,
Swastika carved into
and
the
I had
back.
swastika carved in the back.
Yeah.
No, not the actual swastika. The word swastika is carved in the back. So just in case you were like, oh, all right. Wow. Yeah. Okay. That does contribute to that.
That guy has swastika,
That guy has swastika.
tattooed on
The
it.
W is a little too big, but
and
wow.
Right under it, in even smaller font, it says Confederate flag.
Man,
God, I
the
love
most
it.
comedically brilliant racist of all time. That'd be
Wow.
the funniest thing for a horrible racist
For a
bigot
horrible
to
racist
do.
bigot to do.
I would.
Just be like,
That would be an immediate like. I respect the comedy, you know.
Yeah, that was a bad
Sure.
one. What else did you got?
Yeah.
Like when you were growing up, did you make any mistakes in high school
yeah,
or
did
as
you
a
make any
child?
mistakes?
I used Sun-In for a while. That's about it.
Ooh,
Oh, I
Sun-In bad,
love
yeah.
that.
I want because my mom wouldn't pay for like a $60 haircut to get my hair dyed because I really wanted like
You
frosted
wanted like
tips.
frosted tips, yeah.
It was really in
Dude,
then.
and you have dark hair. That was
So it was
probably
just orange.
a trip.
It was just orange. It was just orange hair for a
It was
minute.
bad. It was
Yeah.
bad. Yeah,
Did it do the whole thing, or just like did you actually just highlight it with
yeah.
sun in?
Or whole thing. It, was,
Oh,
it
buddy.
looked like pennies.
Yeah,
Oh,
copper
no.
pennies. Little buddy boy.
It was, yeah, you didn't know.
There's so many mistakes that have been made, I think, for me. I mean, I've just made so many mistakes. My favorite to date is my sister. She was older than me, like by a little bit, like too far on the older thing. So like we just fought. Like crazy fought our entire. Now we're wonderful best friends, but like it literally like our whole childhood was just like screaming and fighting. But there's those tiny moments where we'd be really kind and wonderful to each other, and she was like, "Let me cut your hair," and I was like, "Yeah."
This sounds like a job
Such
here.
a bad idea.
Yep.
And I don't know what she was going for. I truly don't.
I think she was going for
honestly.
the
I think she was trying to hurt.
cause
my
you
feelings.
pain.
Yes, fully. Because what she did was, I had like
no.
shoulder length hair.
Oh, no.
She cut it so it was like super.
Ugh.
She
cut
gave
right
you that
here.
little Jennifer Aniston
Oh
bob.
no! But wait, because she left a weird like long part right here to where it truly looked like I just had a mushroom haircut.
Oh,
Wow.
And she was like,
wow.
It was like
Wow.
truly, it was just like little sweet little baby
That's
long parts
bullshit,
here.
Lee.
It was full bullshit. And then like cut it right to here. It was full bullshit. And I remember her like vividly remember her being like, "Oh my god, it looks so good. Yay." And my mom, I'm walking out and being like, "Sarah, cut my hair." My mom being like, "Oh." Like, whoa. And surely like the next day she was like, we gotta go get this fixed. And I was like, "What? It's not." And she's like, "No, we have to go get
Well,
this fixed."
hold up. Props to your mom, not just jumping
No.
into straight up anger. She did the thing where she was like, "It's
Oh.
great, honey."
But then she literally took me the next day to a hairdresser and was like, "Fix this." Like she was like, I think it's just a little. It just needs to be a little bit." And like she knew that I looked like
That's great.
I just did a hack job on my head.
Yeah.
And it was so smart. And then I always think of. I was very similar to my brother. My brother always wanted to dye his hair, but we were poor, and so he would always just let me mess around, and I was like so grateful to him because he's such a sweet boy.
Oh.
But he would just let me dye his hair. He'd let me do everything. And one time we just were like, let's make you a cheetah. Just did bleach spots on his head. And he was like doing some assembly thing in high school. And I remember this too. And a friend leaned over to me and was like, "Did you do that to his head?" And like everyone was like, "Man," like, and he
Oh,
rocked
yeah.
it. He was just like, "All right, I look like a cheetah. Thanks, little sis." And then like kept on going. But I look at pictures and I'm like, why did you let me do that to your, like, just weird spots of bleach on your head?
because of lovely
Because of love.
love.
But I think the mushroom takes the cake. And then also there's just like
The botched mushroom.
I mean, truly, it just looked like hook, fook. And like the next day, everyone's like, "Oh."
Did you get really mad at her?
I did afterwards. After I realized that it looked so bad.
Do you want?
I was like-
do you want people to maybe harass her online?
Maybe
Are
change
you
her
kidding?
Wikipedia
She's
come
page.
to your defense a
no
little bit?
offense, she's a doctor. She's nowhere near the internet. Like she's a full like neuropsychiatrist. She has no Facebook, no Twitter handle, no nothing. She does not exist online.
Sounds like she's smart.
Yeah, she's a smart lady.
That sounds
But
smart.
that
Those
being said,
neuropsychology.
I think I would care more about like her actually like doing detrimental stuff by like putting me in the dryer and turning it on. Like that's the stuff that you go, that's not cool.
Is there any
You
other-
shouldn't do
But
that to a 43-year-old
Do
woman.
these stories just keep getting more and more extreme?
Oh yeah, but also there was another time where I let her cut my bangs again, and they were like,
Oh,
like
man.
it was.
There was
bang.
one time where she carved the word
She
swastika
did
into
carve
mine.
the word swastika on the back of my head, and then underput.
I stay away from the
flag.
bang game. No way. I will never, like, my daughter, when my wife does it, bless her heart,
She's just
I
like,
say, yeah, it's
going
great,
for
but
it.
nope,
No.
bangs are mm-mm.
It's so
They're
it's
sacred.
just when you
That's
like let
sacred
someone
stuff.
do it for you, and you're just like, it's bad news bears. Like
Yeah.
always bad news bears.
I've never met somebody who is very good at cutting hair who asks to cut your hair.
Can I cut
I
your
think
hair?
that's the first.
Yeah.
The moment you're like, ooh, no, that's like,
when
can
you
I
find
sell
out
you a
someone's a hairdresser
timeshare?
and you're like, and they're like, okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't-
That's when you
Did
get
you
it.
guys live through the moments of like your parents to save money would just cut your hair for like
No.
the first couple
Yes.
years? I lived
Yes.
through that.
And
for
I,
sure.
I think first through third grade, it was I had an unintentional asymmetrical bob, like very unintentional.
you've
very-
got the
Unintentional asymmetric bob is my favorite improv group.
Yeah, they are. Just to get started, can we do what's the relationship? Like, who are these two people to each other? Are they mother, father?
and here's Lee Newton today, everybody. She has got the derpy Aniston.
Derpy Aniston.
Derpy.
There's so many things that I do look back at what I did and just being like, why?
Oh, man,
like,
you could-
fully why?
You could look at my history of not giving a crap from the 3 years of footage from SourceFed. You can just watch me go through a litany of bad styles.
But like with men, at least there's like, unless you go with Elliot's like aggressive alt-right hair, there's not much you can do to mess it up. Like there's not much. That being said, there is a really great picture of Andrew Delman with bleach tips and his like
Yeah.
Oh, I've
his
seen that. It's
giant
great.
fro and his bleach tips, and I'm like, oh,
Growing up, I went through probably 20 different iterations of 80s bully.
yes. Oh, you did have a mullet. You had a really good mullet.
I didn't have a mullet, but I had.
He's bully.
You were Nicholas Hamilton
every-
from
Yeah, I was
It.
100% Nicholas Hamilton, but it wasn't a mullet. I had like a 7. I think it even got up to like 9-inch rat tail that I rocked from kindergarten on to 5th grade.
Oh, full 5th grade. That's a long.
It was a long time, and
Why were you so connected to that rat tail?
I feel like it represented my personality. I don't know. It was the thing that stuck out. People would point at it and like it, and I was like, also
Love
Montana.
It. Also Montana.
So I rocked it
Also
forever,
Montana.
and I worked on that thing for years.
Yeah, that was like a long time.
So it was there, dude. It was so long that I would. It was also my tick. So
No!
I would twirl it in my hand. I would
Joe,
wrap it
I
around the
can't.
side of my face, and I would suck on it.
Oh God!
I'm
This is a family podcast, dude.
Yeah, it was horrible, horrible.
Gross.
Oh, so gross. I can't. I'm like, I love it.
It got attention, and it got to the point where 5th grade rolls around, and,
Yeah.
and girls and guys are starting to
Like each other.
commingle and stuff. And girls would braid it during like choir,
Cute.
and so you'd get that human touch.
Hey
and-
Joe, can I braid your rat tail? Hi Joe, Joseph.
Yeah, you
Can I
can
braid
do it.
your rat tail?
You might
I
got-
said, hey, I said I was braiding this rat tail today.
you gotta dry off.
I
the
said I
tips.
got to braid this rat tail, Emily.
You gotta dry off the tips before you play with it because it was in my mouth.
Looks like your rat tail a little wet today, Joe. Can I braid your rat tail?
There's a little bit of Lunchable in it. You might have to pick that
So you
out.
know how many girls? Oh God!
So
Wow, Lunchables. Good
so
for
what
you.
started was like they started,
Yeah.
braiding it. And
right?
at first I
Luxury.
liked it, and then I hated it. I just woke up one day and I was like, I hate all the attention. So I went home and I had my dad cut it off. I was like, just do it.
Do you think he
Like,
still has it?
no, thank God. I had it in my dresser in a plastic baggie for like 5
Yes! Oh, it's so beautiful. I love
Yeah.
when people do that kind of stuff. My mother still has our baby teeth.
years. It was me.
You're
It
like
was,
you're like your own stalker.
It was like my mini.
You are your own
It was-
stalker.
It was my mini Samson lock. It was
Oh,
where my power
God.
was.
Do you
but
think
I
that
cried.
maybe
He
your
cut
power?
it, and I
Oh.
cried, and I blamed him. I was like, "How dare you do such an egregious move? You've cut off me. I'm your son.
Samson. Yeah.
You struck me down."
It's totally that. Oh my God.
So that was a bad one. But then throughout the time of the existence of that horrible haircut, there was just various versions of really short on top, but never like a buzz cut,
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
little boy haircut. But for the longest time, lightning bolts above the ear
Ooh,
as well. Had
that's
those two
good.
Oh, yeah.
vanilla ice
That's
streaks.
good.
So-
Those are back a little bit.
Were
know?
you ever like you are? I don't know if people know this about you or not, but you're like one of the sweetest, nicest
are,
people
truly.
that I've ever known.
It's not true.
Did
That's
you ever
true.
go through like was that kid?
Did you ever?
like?
Were you ever an asshole? Is
Yeah,
that what you're
yeah.
asking?
Like if
I
you
bet-
were you like did you have the same affability and demeanor
sure
that
you
you did with
did.
lightning bolts above your ears? Because if you did, that's beautiful.
I feel like there are probably various versions of myself that I think I've been generally sweet-ish, but I'm sure there are people out there that thought I was a dick.
Right,
I mean,
of course, because that's what a sweet person would
That's
say.
exactly
Joe.
it. I know.
I mean,
God.
I messed up, but look, man, I I did.
I just picture you in like a big teal sweatshirt with your lightning bolt thing above your head, just being like the cutest little stupid kid.
I did.
Like you're
Were
like
you on the wrestling
means
team?
no
in
harm.
high school.
See? And you're just like a Joe Beretta,
You took out your
everyone.
aggression in a healthy, combative way. Like
Maybe, or I held it in and it came out in horrible other ways. I don't know.
Or you
I don't know.
danced a lot in
I
a
did
weird
dance
abandoned
from
barn.
5th to 8th grade. I was in ballet and
That's what I'm
jazz
saying.
and modern
Damn.
dance.
He
I
might
had
have
this
just
like
been
weird
adorable
ability.
his whole life.
I had this weird, and it was in Montana, which was very odd. The things I
that's-
were doing were
that's-
very unique, but I was also in sports and I don't know. I had an ability to not give a crap,
we
but
bring
deep down
the
I was really
lightning
giving
bolts
a crap.
back?
You know,
Can we bring those back?
maybe someday.
I think that's a good
Lightning
idea.
bolts?
Yeah.
there's I've seen not.
I
maybe
mean,
not-
like on him. I mean.
oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm gonna try and find some pictures
yes.
for you guys. So,
Oh,
what
please do.
what happened after that? Some would contend was just as bad. So, that was 5th grade, and then I think 6th grade. I'm still trying to figure out my hair self,
Sure.
and then the bowl cut becomes popular.
Yeah,
and
yeah. Hell yeah.
Danny Herval, the guy that came from the Canyon School, because our schools merged, he had these long flowing golden locks that went down to like bowl cut style down to his chin, and we were all like,
Parted in the middle, right?
what is that? Yep, right down the
always,
middle.
always.
And we're like, what is that hair? And Danny was like, my older brother Cameron, who was a jock in high school, and
Camerons are always the cutest.
said, if you have long hair, girls will like you. And we were all like, boof, bull cuts the next
Yeah.
6 months down the line. And I had the biggest.
We've seen that
bowl
actually.
cut.
That's.
It
oh,
was
it's so
I was a
beautiful.
rocket penis. It was. But again, it was flowing. I conditioned it. I used herbal essences, coconut.
So funny. Would
Ladies
totally
loved
make
it.
you look like a penis.
Rocket
yeah,
penis.
again,
I
I
love
got
it.
pictures.
I've seen one of the photos.
Dude,
and it's
I
gold.
rocked that horrible haircut till my senior year, and that's when I finally got rid of it.
Did you find that it did help with girls? Did you?
Yeah.
It was the style back then.
Yeah.
It
Oh, it
really
really
wasn't a
is,
problem.
like,
You
it
look
wasn't-
at
My
this-
brother had it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my brother had it too, for sure.
And he was.
So
yeah.
you had a bowl cut. I had a bowl cut.
Yeah.
Elliot, you never had a bowl cut?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I think
yeah.
you would have a bowl
Oh,
cut.
I had
I
a
wanna
bowl
see
cut. Oh,
that.
yeah.
It truly was
But
a style.
young-
Parted
Younger.
down the middle.
Parted down the middle a lot, yeah. But I got rid of it around like 9th grade. I think I lost the bowl cut around 8th or 9th grade. I think.
I do. I
Maybe-
will say
maybe
again. Not to, my brother is one of those that like he's always been very like he just doesn't care, and so he's very good about being like insane. At his wedding, he had like what can only be defined as like Rod Stewart hair.
Yes!
Like it was like so short and crazy on top and a little bit longer on the bottom.
I
and it
love
was just,
that.
like,
And your brother could rock
wild.
that.
He did. He rocked it so hard. But like now when we look back at pictures, he was like, no one told me.
Yeah.
Like now he's like,
Yep.
oh man, that's my wedding. Like those are wedding photos. Like he's so mad about it. He's
Did
like,
I know I was there?
He's like, I really
Why
liked
didn't
that
anybody tell
hair
me
at
it
the
was my
time."
wedding?
And I was like, it truly is like he's just like the most Rod Stewartiest.
Like
oh, it's
the
so
bowl,
beautiful.
The bowl cut's gone, and it has to be gone. It's a relic of the past. But there are
No,
a couple
it's coming
things.
back. It is actually no. That's not even a joke. I was watching some stupid interview with some stupid idiot the other day. I only say that because it's one of those where it's just like I'm so hip to be hip, and you're like grow up. Real life stuff. But he like had like this crazy like aggressive bowl cut that was like super shorn on the sides, and I was just like I was
None
wearing,
of
like,
the Queer Eye,
overalls and nothing.
none of the Queer Eye guys are rocking a bowl
No,
cut, so I don't think
none
it's
of them.
coming
So
back.
it's not coming back.
But there
Yeah.
are things I miss about it, and I wonder if you could agree or not. I loved like the free flowing nature of it. Like it just kind of
felt cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
Remember
like-
a fresh one, and it felt so cool to
Yeah.
get this shaved and then have it
Yeah.
like dangling around.
And then the best thing is if you would go swimming, you could do like the shampoo commercial thing where you came out of the water.
Oh, and you
would just
flip out. Yeah,
flip
that's,
it back.
That is
Yep.
a fun
and it
part
would
of
just
it.
be in place. Oh man, I miss that.
yeah,
I
in place was
do-
always really cool.
Yeah.
You could slick it back with
And then
gel.
you could also do the weird like Martha Washington thing where you like curled it up and you're like, ooh.
Yeah, hair is
the
fun.
best.
So
It is
yeah,
the best. I
Hair
want,
is fun.
Okay, show us your dogs and also show us some of your worst haircuts because I think that's one of those things that I don't know anyone that went through life. This is the truth. I don't know anyone that went through life without like at least a 4-year period of like, oh
yeah.
God.
There's definitely been some bad
Because
ones.
also there are people, and it pisses me off when you haven't had a fucked up part of your life. I feel like that's something that you're truly missing. Truly.
Yeah, give yourself a bad haircut.
Give yourself a bad haircut. But you know, it's like when you have those. Everyone has those moments where it's just like, oh, remember 7th grade? What happened there, Kelly?
Yeah.
Like It's a real
I
big deal.
recently did something before we close out of here that I didn't do for a long time because I was always scared of it when in regards to hair was shaving my head. Like I always,
You did,
Yeah.
you
I
buzzed?
always wanted to see what it was, but I could never find the courage because there's vanity in there or whatever, and you don't know what lumps exist under
Yeah.
those beautiful locks.
Fact.
And then I had an opportunity for during a pilot shoot that I did for Epic How To recently, where they were like, "We want to shave your head," and I was like, "Yeah, let's do it," because I was really interested and might as well get paid to do it. And I gotta say, I think I pulled it off.
Yeah, I
might
think so.
I might do it again sometime.
No, don't do it.
We have
It's
a brand.
just a tough time. It's just a tough time for skinheads.
So no,
And it's just
a tough time.
Yeah, it's
Just a.
You're
it's
also a
tough time
good-looking
for-
guy. We should
Yeah.
Alright.
go for what works.
It's
I would
tough
contend
time
I was
for-
still a good-looking guy.
I think it's just
You
a tough
still
time
would be. I
for
just want people to see it.
skinheads. I think that's a tough
what
time.
if I
You have such beautiful
You have
hair. So
beautiful
many
hair.
men would want your
what if
hair.
I
handsome,
what if I
handsome
carve a word in the back like acceptance?
It's just a
I
hard
think it's.
time.
We can talk
It's just a
about
hard
it.
time.
We can.
It's just a tough time right now. Tough time. Tough time.
We'll
I love
we'll
it.
post some of our horrible
Yeah, we will.
haircuts. We'll try and find some.
God, I have so many.
By the time this comes out, ladies and gentlemen, we probably will have our full pilot up
Yes, that's
available
true.
at patreon.com/thevalleyfolk. We are about to go watch the first cut. It's 23 minutes currently, so we made more than a television length show. So we're gonna we're gonna go watch it, tighten it, talk about it, and if you would like to become a patron, you can go to patreon.com/thevalleyfolk, and we would really appreciate it because it's how we make this possible because everything else is going insane.
Yeah, your support helps us make new shows, new podcasts, and we're really starting to gear up and pump a lot of stuff out into the
Fun
world.
stuff
Remarkable
out there.
now.
Yeah. Also, if you want to rock some of our merchandise
Oh
from
yeah,
our
we
mercantile,
have some really
go to
really good.
dftba.com, slurch
Slurch.
the Valley Folk, and after you're done doing that, search the Valley Folk, and you will find some of our cool T-shirts and pins. Our pins are awesome. It's
Pins
got
are
both
awesome. I'm
logos.
stoked about
Yeah.
that.
The shirts are
Beyond
awesome too.
Yeah,
You know what, guys? We're awesome.
yeah. I'm really excited.
I will say we're doing
I'm really
alright.
excited.
We're
Pretty
doing
awesome.
good, yeah.
Oh, I love it. Do it.
All right. Steve
Pictures.
usually ends it, so how do we end it without Steve? Should we like
Thanks for listening. My name's Dave.
I'm Dave. There you go.
That was good. I think we nailed it.
Yeah,
All right.
great. All right. Well,
Fuck you, Steve. Bye.
good stuff.